Now we're gonna get down to the, as they say, we're gonna get all the way down. We've been down, we've been up, we've been way up. Because we, with two outstanding gentlemen that love family, community, and this country. There's no mistake about that. There's no mistake about that. I need you to come out, people, and listen to Mr. Nix for City Council, District 7. Listen to me now, because, like I say, you know I'm serious about life. I'm serious about my family. I'm serious about my community in this country. We have an opportunity here in District 7 to change the paradigm for the next 20 years. It's very important, people, that you listen to Mr. Nix. Follow him. Click on Facebook, all the social media. Take his video and send it out to everybody, regardless of where you live, but especially if you live in District 7. I'm asking you to stand up. Don't worry about what they say, well, this is a time when not many people come out and vote. Don't listen to all that kind of stuff, see. The difference between a good community and a great community is leadership. Mr. Nix is a leader that I believe in. So my good brother, we're gonna play around with it. And the question is right now, if I want to change this block, let's say we called it Florida Avenue back in the day, well, 8 Philip Randolph. What would the first thing you think we need to do to get started there?
One of the things that we've done was we hosted a crime watch where we invite the people who actually live in that neighborhood to come up with solutions to see how we can reduce the crime on a local level within that area. And I was able to take a list of their concerns. Phase 2 is the implementation of those concerns. And one of their biggest concerns was crime. From a basic level, making sure that we have rules and policies that are in place to make sure that they're enforced. For example, one of their concerns is crime. If we did enforce, example, curfews, if we did enforce, for example, proper lighting, community policing, town halls, to see how we're tracking and measuring growth. A lot of times we're not tracking and measuring, meaning that how many violations did we have this time, what were some of the arrests that were made, to make sure that the community is aware of what's going on. The broken window theory, meaning that if you have a broken window, that means that that house is probably abandoned. And if it's abandoned, it opens up opportunity for prostitution, solicitation, drug distribution. And if you have drug distribution, more than likely you have a gun. You're going to have guns. So all of that works together to make sure that we're addressing blighted communities and empowering them to have their own neighborhood associations, to where if they do have consistent concerns, if everybody can't make city council meetings, that they're able to send at least one representative to sit in, so that way they can take the message back to that neighborhood. So, Doc, it's really all hands on deck. I can go on and on, but with solutions, however, track and measure is going to be huge. And I could be the best city council person that the district's ever seen, but if my constituents aren't able to see progress, then I failed them.
Okay.
So making sure that they're empowered, even on the local level, increasing civic engagement, partnering with them to make sure that their voice is being heard on local government. So, but just keep it simple, helping them establish their own neighborhood association, helping them improve civic engagement, making sure that rules, policies are being enforced, working with the assistant chiefs or chiefs over those zones to make sure that the community is aware of what's going on, and at the same time tracking and measuring growth.
That's right. Oh man, that's outstanding. Now, did you hear that, Jacksonville? Now, should we already sign him up for mayor? I'm just being keeping it real, cause like I say, this is kind of information I don't hear, and I be all over the country.
And now I went to speak to the gentleman that went off on the sheriff that did that community walk with the
That's good. Yeah.
with the current city council person, and he told the current city council person, I tell everybody, do your job. Do your job. And there's a lot of frustration, and I talked to him one-on-one, and one of his frustrations is, you got all these big trucks coming down these little roads.
Right.
I don't know if you ever watched the movie with the small horse and the big jockey. And what happens is that the road is so small, but the horse, which is a truck, is so big that it shakes the foundations of the homes on the east side. And now you're creating pockets of potholes and pockets of infrastructure that are being shifted because there isn't any enforcement to make sure that the tractor trailers are using the proper rail or highway for transportation and commutes. So we got to make sure that we look at the roads to make sure, yes, we want industrial zoning, we want historic preservation zoning, we want residential new development zoning, we want manufacturing zoning, but right now, those people that I've communicated with, they feel like they've been neglected. Their voice has been suppressed. So when you do try to do a community walk and people haven't seen you in 3 years, that's the type of frustration that you're getting.
That's right.
And for me, I'm willing to sit through that frustration until we're able to come to a solution.
Right.
And I think that's what a good city council person is supposed to do.
That's right.
Let's get past all the pain. Like granted, this pain goes from decades of neglect. Not a year of neglect,
That's right.
but decades of neglect. And I got to be able to withstand those punches long enough to where we can get past the pain to get to the solution.
Whew. I'm telling you, I've been waiting on for many years to hear that. And it moved my spirit. Especially to hear an African American male talk about his community and what needs to be done. And he's correct. In closing here, tell me some what can we do to bring these grown-ups together? What I mean by that, families together. Because we got a big discombobulation going on in our community. And I'm not just talking about the African American community. If you look around Jacksonville, when you talk about equality of outcome, yes, you have to see a lot of people making money, but you don't see no smiling faces. See, when I was coming up in the neighborhood, you see people, they waving at you all the way down the block. You don't see that no more.
Correct.
I'm talking about, we're not talking about low income neighborhood. I cover every part of Jacksonville except for Nahshon, one of the most expensive areas in the country. You can see it in people's faces when you go in the grocery store. When I was coming up, you could hear people talking like they ain't never knew each other, like they was friends for life. What can you think we can do about that? Changing that paradigm.
Okay. I don't know if you ever saw this movie with Denzel Washington, Remember the Titans?
You know I haven't seen every Denzel Washington movie.
And one day, one of the coaches was getting on to one of the African American players and why he wasn't doing his job. And His response was, attitude reflects leadership. If we're dealing with people who are dealing with antisocial symptoms, and we have leadership with an avoidance behavior, that's an antidote for atrocities.
That's right.
So this is what we need in District 7 is we need a leader who's going to lead on their feet and not lead from a seat.
All right.
So,
Outstanding.
right now, our youth need those demonstrations.
Right.
And like I said, going back to what you talked about with education, some people, we're going to have these tough conversations. Let's hash it out. But after we hash it out, we're going to find that common denominator, and we're going to fight for that.
That's right. Now you heard that. We're going to hash it out in good spirit. Because we all in this together. Don't matter what income, we can all make a contribution to making this change. And we need good leadership. And I'm looking at it. So in closing here, once again, anything else you'd like to add to it in closing?
My formula for success, or the building blocks for success, is the 4 E's. A healthy environment, plus quality education, plus sustainable economics, equals empowered communities.
That's right.
I call it the 4 E's. Those are my pillars, and that's how I assess the growth of our city. But it starts here, and then we build up.
Right.
And I'm willing to put in the work.
Oh, you're doing the work. Like I say, I like to put my disclaimer in. You know I always put my disclaimer at the end, but I'm going to put it in. It's a third disclaimer here. This is a leader. I know the difference. And I want to make sure people understand it, because I don't want you to miss out on that. And some people say, well, they friends or something. No. Everybody know that we can't. I have friends, and I know how to separate the two. When I look at a city council person, male or female, I see Mr. Nix as a leader for tomorrow. Very important, people. Think about that. And feel free about calling me, talking to me, asking any questions. And if you know anybody living District 7, call them. I need you to call them right now. I mean, get on your phone, because we got technology. I know everybody down there has a phone. I seen a little baby with a phone the other day, so there's no excuse. Reach out. You can go right on social media. Listen to me. I want you to go on social media. I want you to hit all of the tags, all of they talk about Nahshon, Nix. Right? You got it? So we can move forward. So, my good brother, and I say good brother here on the political side, because that's what we're talking about. We got to understand there's civic and social engagement. But we need to get the civic part taken care of here. And that's why Mr. Nix is here today. He's here for business. He got plenty of love, because I mean, as a young man, and as I get older, as a young man, the first thing I was and is impressed by is his attitude. He's approachable. That make a big difference. And he gonna listen too, because that's the second thing I listen to. The demeanor and the sounds. So my good friend, anything else you want to add to before we go?
There's an African quote that if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. We are stronger together. And with your vote, we're able to shift the narrative in our city from the murder capital to the earning capital. We must move to improve. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much for the love and the backing of the African American Economic Recovery Think Tank. This is not a one-man or woman show.
That's right. That's right.
Divided we fall, united we stand.
That's right.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you to the viewers and the listening audience for hearing my solutions for today's issues. And what we do today will affect our children and our babies, and like you said, the 25th century. So let's set them up for success.
That's right. Outstanding. I am proud to have this opportunity to get this solid information out to my community. And I'm talking about the whole city of Jacksonville. Because a city council person, he has his district, but he's responsible for the whole city. Mr. Nix have already stepped up long before he became city council. He understands the pain that a lot of people are going through. As you mentioned, he mentioned his life. And he have worked through it, grown, continued to spread his wing and make it possible for thousands, maybe millions of people right here in Jacksonville. I'm proud to get this opportunity once again. My name is Stanley Scott. I'm with the African American Economic Recovery Think Tank. You can find us. You use the @ AAERTT. Let me say it again, because if you need some information, feel free to reach out to us. You use the @ AAERTT. Thank you very much.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Nixon. Oh man, thank you. Because like I said, I've been in civil rights for a long time, close to 30 years or more. And it's been a long time since I ran across a gentleman of his character with the power, the audacity to move us forward. It's very important, people. Thank you, Mr. Nixon.
Thank you again.
Yeah.